welcome back to my channel and welcome to a Sunday Cook with me. Well, this Sunday when I'm recording this, or actually I'm recording it on Saturday, but this is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to all of you who celebrate Easter today, and Passover and Ramadan, and I think next weekend is the Orthodox Easter. So there'll be plenty of time for celebrations this month. I'm going to be using up my ham bone. I know a lot of you will be using ham for your holiday meal, and so I thought this is the perfect opportunity to show you how I use up my ham bone most of the time. And that is to make a ham and bean soup. We love ham and bean soup, and so I always try to make it whenever I have a ham left over. Now the ham I used this time was actually what's called a smoked picnic or smoked shoulder. It could be a shoulder or butt that is smoked, and the way you normally would cook that is to either roast it in the oven per package instructions and per poundage, or you would boil it on the stove, again by package instructions. We usually boil it on the stove because I continue and make a New England boiled dinner with this cut of meat. So I'm going to show you what I have, but I'll tell you what the recipe says you can use. And we're going to get busy and make a ham and bean soup. So I'm going to do it in the crock pot. It takes about 6 hours on low. If you have pre-soaked your beans, which I did last night, if you didn't pre-soak your beans, it will take a good 9 hours in the crock pot. But either way, it will cook up lovely. So let me take you down and show you how easy. It's very simple ingredients. And we'll get busy making ham and bean soup with the leftover ham bone. Be right back. Okay, here we are. Now the ingredients are fairly simple. The star of the show is the ham and the beans, so we don't want to muddle it too much. I have some of my beans here that I soaked overnight and I have just drained. They are navy beans, and I'm going to put those in just a minute. It calls for 1 cup of celery and 1 cup of onion. So I'm going to use my little chopper. I'll bring it down a little bit so you can see my chopper. And we'll get that chopped up. Sorry, it does make a bang when I have to push them down. Except half of a large onion, or basically a cup. I have a sort of a medium onion, so I'm using the whole thing, and then a cup of celery. And when you're using these, I find if you put the celery curved side up, it cuts through much easier. If you put the curved side down, it tends to just leave strings. There we are. As easy as that. It also calls for a cup of carrots, but you don't put the carrots in until it's been cooking for like 5 hours. Okay? It calls for some garlic. It said 5 cloves. I'm not putting that much. I'll put probably a couple. A teaspoon of thyme, or 3 fresh sprigs if you've got fresh thyme. Salt and pepper. I'm not going to salt this right now, and I'll tell you why. Because I am using some broth and it's already salty. Here's my ham. And it has a lot of meat on it, so we'll have lots of meat in this soup later. And the beans. Now the broth I am using, you can see here, this is the broth that I cook the ham in. And I always save that broth whenever I cook a ham. I'm going to skim a little of the fat off the top. Especially with this one, because I mentioned I made a boiled dinner out of it. So after the ham had finished cooking, I continued using that same broth and cooked squash, rutabaga or turnip, potatoes, and cabbage. So this broth is very well seasoned. And it's still partially frozen. So I'm going to pour on what I can. And I think I might, you know what I think I might do? I'm going to throw this in the microwave for a couple of minutes and see if I can't get it a little more liquefied. Let me wipe my hands. And I'll be back as soon as I've got it liquefied. Well, there you go. I put that in the microwave, defrosted it enough to pour it out, and it pretty much filled this crock pot. Now, if the crock pot is filled because the ham bones are big in there, once we take the ham bones out later and take the meat off of them, it won't be nearly as much. I used all of that container of broth and probably about a cup of water in order to get it up high enough. So it is on low, and we're going to put the top on, and we're going to say bye-bye for 6 hours. I'll come in and check it a little while, maybe after 2 or 3 hours, and turn that ham bone over to make sure everything is submerged. Now, if I find that I need more liquid later, I happen to have another container of bean soup broth in the freezer, and I'll just defrost and add that to it. Now, the recipe calls for water, and that's fine if you haven't boiled your ham bone already and you don't have the broth. The water is just fine. You can add, maybe if you like a smoky taste, a couple of drops of liquid smoke, or you can add the Better Than bouillons that they have out now. They have one that's a ham base, so you could add a ham base flavoring to that water up to your taste. So that's where we are right now. And you'll see I have my glasses off because I don't cook with my glasses on. And we're going to let this cook away for quite a while. And when it comes time to put the carrots in, what we do is we take the meat out, the bones out, take the meat off the bones, add the carrots and the meat back in for about another hour. So I'll be back when it's time to do that. Until then, I'm going to sit down and watch the masters. So I'll talk with you later. Be back in a bit. Okay, I'm back. And we're going to add some carrots. And I took all of the meat out. I didn't get those carrots out, did I? Here we go. I took the meat out, and it's sitting in a bowl here because I needed to wait a couple of minutes before I could handle it. But you can see the beans, and I'll go through now this piece here. I'll just take that out. It's just a piece of the edge. Looks really good. So let's get this meat, which is now off the bone, because it fell right off the bone as I went to take it out. We get this cut up. Let me see, let me get you down there. Hold on. And you can see here's what's left of the bone. And there's not much there. That's mostly fat. We'll leave that off. Most of it you can just pull apart. There's another little bone. And it's just so tender. Let me get that in. Give myself a little room. I'm using the knife in a back and forth motion, but it's really just pulling apart. But you want to go through it all to make sure you don't have pieces of gristle, because it was attached to a bone, you know. Like this. Let me get that out of the way. Rinse my hands. Look at that. Lots of meat. Doesn't that look elegant? All right, we're going to put the cover on. Let it go for another little while. And I'll be back when it's ready to taste test it. See you in a bit. Well, here we are. I'm going to give it a taste test for you. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look. And it's nice and thick. And I still have that other container of stock. If it gets too thick as it sits, I can always add some more stock. Let's come up for a taste test. And yes, it is still the same day. And yes, I do have different clothes on. I was doing some work around and I changed my clothes. So I have some in the little dish here. And I'm going to attempt to get some. It is so hot. Oh. Oh my word. Gonna get the beans. That is comfort in a bowl. Oh, folks, don't throw away your ham bone. I'm going to leave this on until we're ready to eat. Carrots could use a little more time. The rest of it is unbelievable. Look at this. Look at that piece of meat. That is so good. Oh my goodness. Now, I'm going to serve this tonight with cornbread. And that'll be it. Cornbread and some crackers. Soup crackers. And I can't wait now. Yummy. We're going to let this set because we're not eating for a couple of hours. And the longer it sets, the better it'll be. Good thing I did not salt it. It is plenty salty enough. I don't even think it needs any more pepper. But my husband's a big pepper person, so he'll probably pepper it anyway. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me take you down one more time. Whoop. And look at that. Look at that. Ooh, hot. Perfect. Perfect. I'll see you all again either Tuesday or Wednesday for a craft day. I think we're going to do a patriotic wreath. So get ready with the stars and stripes. I'll see you then. And I hope everybody has had a wonderful day. Like I said, when you're seeing this, it's Easter Sunday, or when I'm putting it up, it'll be Easter Sunday. And I hope you all had a great day, or are having a great day. And because the Masters were rained out yesterday afternoon, but they'll be back again today. Hopefully they can get it all in. And so we'll be watching that. We're going out for Easter dinner today. We're going out for a brunch. So I won't be, the soup we're having at the night that I'm cooking it, which is Saturday. And then Sunday we're going to Easter brunch. So until I see you again, have a great day, keep warm, keep safe, play by the rules, and everybody play nice now. Love you. Bye-bye.